The reason Democrats are focusing on polls right now is they know that Democrats are in trouble in November. They know that they're in trouble because of Joe Biden. Even former Biden press secretary Jen Psaki, who now works at MSNBC, by the way, admitted that if the Democrats allow the midterm elections to be a referendum on Joe Biden, there's going to be trouble.
I'm not sure how this is either really effective or you're trying to get the voter to take two issues and tie them together. You're trying too hard. I don't know, but an interesting response.
Yeah, look, I think that Democrats, if the election is about who is the most extreme, as we saw, Kevin McCarthy touch on there with Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'll say her name, sitting over his left side, then they're going to win. If it is a referendum on the president, they will lose, and they know that. They also know that crime is a huge vulnerability for Democrats. I would say one of the biggest vulnerabilities. And if you look at Pennsylvania, for example, what's been interesting to me is it's always you follow the money and where are people spending money. And in Pennsylvania, the Republicans have been spending millions of dollars on the air on crime ads against Fetterman because that's where they see his vulnerability. So yes, the economy is hanging over everything, but you do have to look at state by state factors, and crime is a huge issue in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so she is correct on one thing. Crime is a huge issue. She's also correct that if Democrats allow even the midterm elections, not even the 2024 presidential election, if they allow the midterm elections to be a referendum on Biden, they'll lose. Why is that? Because Joe Biden has hurt people. It's not just the ideological divide between, Democrats hold these positions, Republicans hold these positions, and when they compete those positions, people choose what they will, and Biden might not be favored. No. This is not ideological. Biden's inflation has hurt everyday Americans. Biden's radical prosecutors and his weaponized Department of Justice has hurt people's families. His policies actively harm people, and people don't care about ideology when their family is hurt. What does this tell us? This tells us that there's an appetite in our country for politicians, conservative politicians who are unafraid, courageous conservative politicians like Giorgia Meloni. This is what Republicans need to do to win the midterm. Talk about these things. These are the only things that matter for the midterm election, the only things that will reach across the aisle, maybe to Democrat voters, maybe to independent voters, and Republican voters who otherwise might not have felt the enthusiasm to turn out. This is how to win the midterms. Number one, focus on Bidenflation. Biden's spending, his devaluing of our currency, has hurt your family. Food costs you more. Gas costs you more. Your life savings is worth less. This hurts you. This hurts your family. School choice. Focus first on God, country, and family, just like Giorgia Meloni's platform. This is what she ran on. School choice, which Democrats at the political level, the elected level, they oppose, voters support. Give parents back control over their children's educational decisions. Give that power back to the family. Take it away from politicians. The trans ideology that's aimed at your children, focus on the doctors, the teachers, and the politicians who actively encourage young people to take hormones that chemically castrate them, to remove their healthy breasts, to mutilate their bodies in the name of ideology. This hurts your children. It hurts your family. It hurts our nation. Focus on the FBI abuse of power. This is not a quibble between Donald Trump and the FBI. You are next. We are next. Our families are next. The FBI thinks that we are extremists. The FBI thinks that we are domestic terrorists. The FBI, we just talked about this yesterday. The FBI raided the home of a pro-life activist because he was praying outside of a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic, and he defended his 12-year-old child when a pro-abortion activist was yelling obscenities in his child's face. Your family is at risk. The left is putting your family at risk. Focus on the insane anti-fossil fuel agenda. This also hurts your family. The logical conclusion of abolishing fossil fuels and quote-unquote transitioning us to quote-unquote green energy that is not green, it is not environmentally friendly, it is extremely expensive. The result of that will be energy scarcity. Your energy bills will increase. There will be rolling blackouts. You won't be able to drive gas-powered cars. There will be an extra tax if you buy red meat for your family. There will be food shortages and medicine scarcity because both crop production and the production of medicine relies on petrochemicals derived from fossil fuels.